In the jazz lounge, Nate tells Mamie he's been wanting to take her out since she came back. It's a cause for celebration. Mamie's not so sure everyone would agree. She asks about the chaos at Newman and why he'd want to be a part of it. Nate knows where she's going with this and reminds her Lily and Devin don't want him at Chancellor Winters and he's happy where he is. Mamie is sure he'll win back their trust. Nate doesn't want to be anywhere that his ideas aren't valued, or he's always waiting for some new accusation to be leveled against him. Mamie asks, "What can I do to change your mind?" Nate asks why it's so important to Mamie that he return to Chancellor Winters. Mamie has to do her job and put the family back together. Nate muses that she bought a minor stake in the company, not enough to wield significant power. He's sensing there's more to this. Mamie insists that bringing him back together with his cousins is her motivating factor. Nate tells her it wasn't a pleasant experience their last time, though part of it was his responsibility. He loves working with Victoria and had to make a move to achieve his true potential. Mamie asks, "Is it possible you just expected too much too soon?" Nate admits he's gone through a period of transition, but feels he's finally where he belongs. Mamie hears what he's saying. Nate tells her he's very happy at Newman, where he's valued and respected. Mamie argues he'll always be the outsider. Even if he were to marry Victoria, he would only be the in-law and will never have true power. Nate muses, "And you're saying I would at Chancellor Winters." He reminds her that Jill is a part of that dynamic. Mamie chuckles. "Things change, honey." In Tucker's suite, Phyllis needles Tucker, no pithy comment. She uncovered his connection to Mamie Johnson. Tucker says it's personal and private and none of her business. Phyllis tells him to consider her a fly in his ointment. Tucker insists it's nothing, but Phyllis is sure that Jill, Devin, and Lily won't think so. Tucker asks, "What do you want, Phyllis?" Phyllis wants to know if he connected with Mamie so he could take over his son's company. Tucker asks why he'd do that to his son and asks Phyllis what it is she thinks she knows. Phyllis confides she did a deep dive into his online activities recently. Tucker knows it was to bring something to Jack and needles her about being desperate for his approval. Phyllis says, "You recently transferred some money into a company called LBB. It's Mamie Johnson's company, and Mamie just announced she made a sizable investment in Chancellor Winters. You're going after your son's company, aren't you? You're using Mamie. Your money went right through Mamie into Chancellor Winters." The plot thickens. Tucker mocks her excitement. Phyllis notes he hasn't denied it. Tucker shrugs that he makes investments all the time and tells her to find a hobby. Phyllis thinks maybe she should talk to Devin. Tucker says she doesn't give a damn about Devin or Lily. "What are you after? How does this benefit you?" At the Abbott mansion, Kyle tells Jack and Billy he hasn't had the best night, but it will pass. Billy and Jack let him know they're strategizing and explain they've come across some information about Tucker's recent past. Damaging and career-shattering information, possibly. Kyle asks if Tucker's aware they have it. Billy says, "Very aware." Jack says his response was to plant a listening device. He's calling their bluff. It's time to drop the hammer, release the information, and take his power away. Kyle offers, or you could make him more vengeful and ignite a war. They debate about Tucker and his plan to distract them so they won't see what he's really up to. Jack says as long as they stick together as a family, they can get through this. Kyle notices they're on the same page again. Billy and Jack are grateful to have each other. Jack declares, "Now is the time for us to pull together as a family." Billy wants to drop the bomb first thing in the morning. Jack says he'll see him then and they'll discuss it. Billy leaves and Jack asks Kyle if he can count on his support and discretion. Kyle snarks, "Whatever you need." Jack is hoping after they have Tucker off their backs, they can sit down and talk about the perfect spot for him. Kyle informs him there's only one spot he wants, and it's become very clear that's not going to happen. Diane and Tracy walk in, and Kyle tersely excuses himself. Tracy says, "Well, that was Frosty." Jack explains that Kyle still thinks he's slighting him.